I been listening to 80s music, so fresh into my mind.
Yeah. Yeah, we still need to do that. For those that are newer here, we in the past through this hour long conversation, we started talking about, hey, we should do like some kind of hangout. And Bez's idea is back to the 80s, baby. And we're talking about 80s and 90s music and memorabilia and like show and tell. We can all bring stuff from, that'd be fun. We tried
Like
once. It didn't. I was the only one there, but that's
like
okay.
like a tape recorder.
The
Like
tape recorder. Who can
three.
forget the
Wow.
tape recorder?
Yeah.
Oh, that was such a. And you know what's funny when we all look back at that, like in the 70s and 80s, it's like we were all just like, wow, this, like I can still remember when my dad brought home Pong, the game Pong in the
Oh
70s,
yeah.
and hooked it up to our TV. And they were like,
Uh,
this is so, I mean, I was a little kid, but I was like, this is so cool. And like today, kids would laugh at that. Could you imagine?
the
Yeah.
technology is just wow. I mean, and the music, my like new age music came in the 80s, whether you liked it or not.
Yeah.
There it was. And
Yeah.
then 90s was almost like going back to grunge, with the whole grunge thing, but
Grunge. Yeah.
like a lot of crunchy guitars like you got in the late 60s, early 70s. Everything kind of cycles through, I
Yeah,
guess.
we called in the 80s music the new age.
Yeah, new age.
And it was
Yeah.
called the British invasion, but it was actually the second wave of the British invasion because
Right.
you had Depeche Mode, The Cure, and all these
Yeah.
cool bands
Great
coming out
band.
of the UK. Yeah, Dixie
Very cool
Midnight
bands.
Runners, Come On Eileen. I mean, come on, the list is this long.
Right.
Yeah.
Lots of great music from the 80s. So I have lots to talk about today and discuss. But first, I want to remind everybody, join us on our school community. We have such a great place to hang out because what we do here is just a 1 hour chat, but the conversations continue on over at school. You can go to my bit.ly link, bit.ly/Madalyn School, or go to school.com and search for AI shortcuts to work smarter. And one of the things that's a newer that I've been doing is on Fridays, so the day after this, on Fridays, I host a special live stream hangout inside of there. Let me show you. Go to the calendar. So every Thursday, we're doing this, our AI shortcuts to work smarter. And so if you ever need the link to come to this live or catch the replay, just do that. But on Fridays, it's 2 p.m. my time in Central. So, 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Eastern. So I just call it our AI Shortcuts Friday Hangout. And whoever that's in our school community, and it is a free community, so go sign up. It's free to join. Come hang out if you have time on a Friday afternoon, and we just hang out. It just depends on who's there and what we'll talk about. Sometimes community members come in and ask questions, or if you don't have questions, it's okay because I always have things to talk about. And usually, if there's no questions, and even if it's just me by myself, I will just kind of pick up where I left off from the Thursday, which is today, where I'll still have other things to showcase and talk about. And it is recorded, so there will be a replay available as well. And I know it doesn't work for everyone's schedule, and that's okay. But if it works for your schedule, come hang out with us on Friday afternoons. But otherwise, you can just participate in our community. We have so many conversations. There's a really good one from Andy Havens. He is in another community where talking about doing an AI ROI challenge. And I thought this was so cool. Let me take that off the screen. Okay. So this post is in there talking about this prompt. I love this. You're a digital marketing expert. I want to use you to generate at least $20 in revenue this month. Here are my existing skills, platforms, and businesses. And you fill in yours. What is the fastest, most realistic path to $20? And what do you need from me to build it? So the premise is he wants to, at minimum, use AI to pay for his AI tools, which I thought, that's like a fun challenge. So something interesting. I did play around with the prompt, and it gave me some really interesting ideas. I mean, of course, I want to do more than 20. I understand his premise for this is like, I want to make sure that I can have this pay for my AI. But for me, I'm looking at it like, oh, I'm going to use this to make a whole nother stream of income you could do. Like, there's just so much you could do with stuff like that. But we have lots of interesting conversations going on. I love how, Barb, you are been in there talking about the whole school gamification, which is interesting, and how you can rack up points for different things. And I don't know if anybody really noticed, but next to my name now is this fire emoji. And it's because if you are in school, anywhere in school, if you're super active for at least, look at all these dark green boxes. If you're, it calculates how much activity you do inside of school. And it's just part of the gamification of school. You don't have to do anything. I've been in school. The first community I joined was in December of, actually July of 2023. And then I started my own in December 2023. And then I started this one not too long after. Now, I never really paid attention to like how many things I'm doing, but like every time you like something, it counts as an activity. Every time you post, when people like your posts, your comments. And if you get at least 10 activities every day, like each day, you get the dark green box. When you've accumulated 30 30 in a row, you get the flame emoji next to your name. And so you can see it right here. I've known about this, but like, look, I'm a busy gal. I do lots of different things. I don't have time to pay attention to like how many of these activities am I doing in a 24-hour period. And there is a cutoff time. And what I learned is, if you know the cutoff time, the key is to get it done. Get 10 activities before your cutoff time, and then you'll get the green box, and then it starts the next day. So I'm in a school community where they did this as a challenge, the 30-day fire emoji. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. Then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to try it, because it's more of, I want to do something consistent and build that muscle memory. Just like on January 1st, when I started my self-imposed 30 days of Madalyn, where I put out a piece of content every day, I ended up turning into like a video challenge. And, I had to get out of my comfort zone to do it. Even though I love doing video, but I wanted to do something different. Instead of the videos being business related, which is typically how I would do it, I did a lot of personal stuff. And I put my dog in it because everybody loves a 3-legged husky. And I was making a lot of the videos while I was walking her. I see Pip has arrived. Hello, Pip. Oh, Pip's like, did somebody say my name? Is that what he did, Rachel? Because as soon as I said it, he goes, what? Anyway, what I noticed in my challenge was when I showed my dog, because I was walking her, lots of comment, people loved it. I'm like, oh, I think I'll start incorporating her into my videos and just do these while I'm out walking every day. And you just kind of pick up things as you go, and figuring things out based on the discussion. My friend Venus says she loves Pip. She has cats too. So, and when we do our Kratom live streams, like there'll usually be one of her cats around on screen with her.
The baby.
It's cute.
He's purring so loud.
Aw. But I decided to take on this challenge, and twice I missed one day, and then it starts all over. And it's just you against being active on school and getting the green boxes. And then as soon as you hit the 30 days, you get the flame emoji, and it's next to your name everywhere in school. And then if you miss one day, you lose the emoji and it starts over. And I just find it interesting. And it really put me in this mindset of doing something consistent, building the muscle memory. And I just hit the 30 days last week. I'm like, now I've got this whole routine. And it's like no big deal for me. I'm in, quite a few school groups, and I run 2 of my own. So it's just one of those things, if you don't pay attention, you don't realize, and you're like, oh, people are talking about this flame emoji and I don't have one. So I just thought it was really interesting. So I don't know if everybody knows about the whole flame emoji thing. If you're in school, I want to make sure people knew about it. Okay. We got stuff to talk about, to look at. So I'm going to start with, let's see. Y'all know I love Whisper Flow, and I know y'all. I don't know. Are y'all starting to get tired of me talking about so much? Because I made a little video about it the other day that I wanted to play because this tool is an AI, it's a voice to text AI tool. And I use it for just about everything. I don't need to use it here because we're just talking. But instead of typing on my phone or computer, I just talk like we're doing right now. And it's an incredible tool. And they're getting a lot of attention right now because while they've been out for probably about a year or so, it was desktop computer, so any kind of computer, and iPhone, iOS. They just launched Android this week and it's now available. So there's just this, and they're getting so much attention. They've raised a lot of money. Anyway, I want to play my little video, short video I made about it, and then talk just a little bit about it and show how they're doing it. They did this really fun video promoting it because of the whole Android, to let people know. So I'm going to play this for y'all real quick because I want y'all to see, for those that don't know much about it. So WhisperFlow is hands down my favorite tool that I use in all of my things, on my phone, on my computer, everywhere. It's a voice to text. It utilizes AI. People are just now hearing about it because there's so much buzz. I've been using WhisperFlow for over 8 months. According to my stats today, I've used spoken over 236,000 words, and I'm up to 172 words per minute just by talking. Like I could do this right now and actually, you know what? Let me do that. I'm going to dictate this and show you. All right, so this is a tweet I did earlier letting Android users know that yes, WhisperFlow is now available for Android users. And by the way, I've been using it for a good while, and here are my stats. So let's do a reply. And I'm going to press and hold right here on my FN key. I'm going to press and hold this. Thank you, WhisperFlow. You are absolutely the most amazing tool. You make my life so much easier. Look at that. And of course, Grammarly is giving me my punctuation fix, so that's good. Look at that. Thank you, WhisperFlow. You're absolutely the most amazing tool. You make my life. All I did was I pressed and held down the FN key while I spoke. That's way faster than typing and less typos than typing. So yes, I love WhisperFlow. Here's the thing about WhisperFlow. It is free to use. Yes, there are paid versions of it as well. I started with the free, absolutely fell in love with it. I cannot even imagine life without it. It is that good. And if you want to try it for free, so you can now see what the fuss is all about, go to my link here, go to my bit.ly link. It's bit.ly/get WhisperFlow. I promise you will not be sorry. You're going to try this. You're going to go, wow, Madalyn, you were so right. So try it, report back to me, and let me know what you think. All right. So, that I've been fussing about it a lot because it really is that good. I use it for everything. And I just want to make sure everybody knows what exactly this is. Hey, Marcel. Yeah. Let me tell you something else too. So a lot of my friends in the Kratom community, a lot of them are like me, where we suffer from various chronic pain issues. Now, I've tried every voice to text app that's been out there over the years, because a couple of years ago, I was having severe pain issues in my right wrist where I could barely type and work. And I went to multiple orthopedic doctors. I went through the whole thing, and they couldn't fix it. They couldn't do anything. And it was just one of those extra aches and pains that, everything else I was using medicinal wise was not helping. So I had to just kind of live with it. And it was really debilitating. And I was hoping I'd find a voice to text tool that would make it easier for me, because I got to the point where we were still doing this show over on X Spaces because it's just live audio. I was really just mostly doing podcasts, live audio, and live video because I couldn't type and do much. And it's gotten better. I can do more now, but not where I was before. But I wish WhisperFlow if that had been around a couple of years ago, it would have been so life-changing for me. I literally had to just barely work because of it. It was so, my wrist pain was so severe. So WhisperFlow, what it does is voice to text, but it is incorporating AI to fix your mistakes, to fix any issues. It's not an AI tool where you ask it a question, it does something. It's not that type of AI. And what's so funny in my video is how I also use Grammarly, which for many of us, that was our first introduction to AI. I've been using Grammarly for, I think, 6 or 7 years. Like it's been embedded on my computer all these years. So it shows me all the grammar stuff, right? What's interesting is WhisperFlow is very accurate and it does a lot of the grammar stuff, but it's not 100% perfect with that. And I thought it was funny when I made that video the other day that I just showed you all that, WhisperFlow made my voice to text perfect, but there was like a comma that didn't have to be put in, but, Grammarly caught it. So I just like how I have these stacked, these 2 AI tools, and it just makes my life easier. And some people don't care about punctuation. I'm kind of old school. I'm kind of like, I when those commas, it's like, thank you, Grammarly, for finding those, because I think it's because some of us are right. I know Rachel is like, some of us, you're right. You've been in writing a long time. I'm not much of a writer, but I just think of old school, and that's what we were taught that. It's hard to get out of it. So anyway, I just think it's super cool with what they're doing with WhisperFlow, and is getting a lot of attention. You're going to hear, like I've been talking about it for months. Y'all going to hear about it more because they're getting so much attention. And when I posted that video we just watched on my ex, I did, also show the screenshot of it's like, wow, one of my other favorite AI tools, Grammarly. So if you're not familiar with Grammarly, definitely. I used their free account forever, for years and years and years. And then I finally, went to the paid. And by the way, WhisperFlow is free to use, and you can do quite a bit on the free. I started with free, and then after about 2 weeks of me just using, I'm like, oh wow, this is cool. Oh, I can do it I can put it in any tool or app I'm in, and I can just press the button and just talk. I use it for everything. You get so many words per month on the free account, and it took me about 2 weeks of using it, and then I reached the limit, and I'm like, okay, I'll just wait till it resets. So couldn't use it so after a couple of days, I was like, I miss you. I miss it. It was helpful. I'm like, even though I was trying to get rid of all these subscriptions and stop paying so much for all these tools, it was only $12 a month. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it for $12 a month. So yeah, it's been a game changer. So yeah, Marcel, you might find this tool helpful. I've talked to other people in our community and telling them about, how helpful this is. If you're having any issues with your hands or wrists where it's hard to type, and I know so many of us have tried all those voice to text tools, this one's a complete game changer. It's amazing. Let me play real quick, because they did do this really fun to just show the power of this tool. They just put out at WhisperFlow, they made this video to promote it. It's just really cute. So let me pop this up for y'all to see, because it's really a smart tool.
We're giving away a Porsche 911 GT3 RS, and all you have to do is beat an AI app. We found 5 people who think they can beat WhisperFlow, the #1 voice dictation app ever built. So let's see if they actually can.
Hey, let's do it. Actually 9. Wait, no, 10 p.m. And oh my God, bring Kelsey. I literally miss her so much. Heart emoji. Wait, that's low-key impressive.
It's gonna be hard to beat.
Hey, I'm in a meeting right now. Can you do these 3 things? Make sure you send a proposal. Tell Kyle he still hasn't sent an invoice. And tell the team the stand-up has been pushed until 3. Well, I got everything right.
Dude, that was a good try.
Can you take a look at the HUD PSX and add a new function called validate user token that takes in a token string and returns a boolean? Whoa, does this have an API?
It's good, right?
I'm that nigga, I'm in my zone. Microphone to my phone, I own the tone. Wordplay electric, my flow so addictive. Every bar I spit is a lyrical lecture. Fuck, bro. Got everything.
Can I get the breakfast on the way back? And cards में मेरा charger भी ले आना and coffee भी ले आना please. मैं बहुत थक गई हूँ.
And also your baby didn't wake up.
Full disclosure, my team told me not to do this. But with our new model, I was feeling pretty confident. It's not just 3 times more accurate than ChatGPT or Siri. It's actually more accurate than any human using it. If you manually type out your text, you're going to make a lot more mistakes than if you just speak it with WhisperFlow. Once you try it, there's honestly no going back. And today, we're launching Flow on Android. Like, retweet, and comment WhisperFlow to get Flow Pro for free for 6 months.
And cut.
Man, this is such a sweet car. Look at the paint.
Yeah. Be cool if I could participate and win.
Let's wrap.
Oh yeah, it's such a cute video. Anyway, I mean, that was a brilliant marketing campaign they did with that, but it really shows the power. And the whole whispering thing is that's something else you can do with this. You can just whisper, you know, in your phone, and I'm telling you, I know I've been talking about this for months. You're going to see all of this more because they got a lot of funding. They're going to town with this.
Okay,
Is it-
can you? I'm sorry. You go, Bez.
Oh, ladies first.
and you want me to talk? No. The thing is, Madalyn, what did you? It's available on Android now, and what does it cost you per month?
I pay $12 a month for it.
And that, is
Let me
that
pull up the
like
website.
Yeah, that
I'll
would be
pull it up.
cool. And guess what I found while you were talking?
What'd you find?
I found, you know how we have the memories on Facebook? This was a blab you did with Michael Stelzner. No kidding. I just retweeted it on X
From today? It
for
was a
you.
memory from today. Yeah, you know
It's
what?
from 2016.
Yeah, 10 years
when
ago.
Blab was live. And so I thought that the Blab, I mean, it was recorded on Blab and all those were gone, but evidently not. They must have
No,
actually
'cause
archived.
they were, I think knowing Mike, he probably archived them. I saw that show up in my memories yesterday, and I think it was me promoting that I was going to be on it the next day, which would be
Yeah.
today. That is so wild. I miss Blab. Blab was great. And for those that don't know, that 10 years ago, that was like the big live stream, and we called it Brady Bunch style because it was like this.
Yeah.
4 people, it could do up to 4 people on screen. And it was amazing. I can still remember the first one I jumped because it was right after, and I'm trying to remember it was a big Twitter chat at the time that a lot of us in social media and digital marketing used to go to. And they were big deal people that, I remember it was these 3 ladies that ran it. They were all big deals and they didn't really know me yet. And I'll never forget, they did the Blab and it was so new. And I remember I was at home and I'm on my laptop. I'm like, and they had it was the 3 of them. They had 1 seat open because it was Blab.
Yeah.
And they said, who wants to come on? And I'm like, oh my God, this is my moment. So I jumped on it and I got in and I got to hang out with them in the Blab. And it was so cool. And then I remember doing my first one not too long after. And I did it for like 2 hours, I think. And it was like, let's just come on. It was kind of like the whole Twitter Smarter chat crew, and people came in and came out. And it was, that was so fun. But that was before all of this.
Okay, well, listen, I have it in my other browser window and I can share it later, but
Yeah, I'd like to see it.
just it was really cute. So
That's
back to
awesome.
WhisperFlow
That's
and the
awesome.
pricing.
Yeah, so WhisperFlow, when you go to hold on, let me put my link back up. If you go over to my WhisperFlow link, it takes you over here, and now they have the Android, but it works on everything. So let's see the pricing. Here we go. So on you get there's free, there's the Flow Pro for 12 a month, and then they have Enterprise. So on the free,
Okay.
you get 2,000 words per week on a Mac or Windows, so that's your computer. 1,000 words per week on iPhone, and oh, look at this, unlimited words per week on Android, limited time only. So
Oh.
that when he's in that video when he said 6 months free, and it was specifically about talking about Android, the launch of Android, that must be what he meant. Because
Wow.
that's a great deal. Because when I first started this, I went through like in 2
I'm
weeks.
going to try it. I'm going to do that.
And then you get this custom dictionary and snippets. So like my name is spelled unusual, right? Madalyn. So I put that in the dictionary. So when I say Madalyn, because otherwise it's going to spell it Madeline, and it's like, no, that's not how you spell it. So yeah, you can totally put in a dictionary. You can have snippets of like, if you say something, like you could have it so something like my home address, and when you say my home address, you have a snippet, so it'll put your home address. Like you can, I'm telling you, for free, they do a lot. Support 100+ languages, amazing. So on the $12 a month plan is unlimited words per week, and y'all, I'm like a total power user. I showed the stats in my video.
Wow.
And if you do need support and want to give feature requests, you prioritize. You just, the main thing is, I encourage people for free, try the free version. And then when you max out, if you find that like, this is really cool and I could use this, then you go to unlimited. But you Android users, y'all get unlimited for a while. So that's really cool. So I highly recommend this tool. Let me go back to, so yeah, I remember when I first started using this, I'm like, yeah, talking is faster than typing, but I was somebody that liked to type, because many times I'll think of what I want to say as I'm typing. But I got out of that mindset as I started using this. And in that video we watched, that was the founder CEO in the commercial. He makes such a great point when he was doing it at the end, is that when we're typing, we make so many mistakes. When I'm sitting here doing something on my phone, I'll make so many mistakes, and that just slows you down even more. But if I just talk, it is fixing the mistakes for me, which I just find completely invaluable. So that's why I love this thing. So I just think it's worth a try. And now that they've added Android, and you use it in all your apps, doesn't matter what tool, what app, no matter, on your phone, on your computer, doesn't matter what you're in.
I just want to read you something really quick from my assistant, Dr. A, who's watching.
Hey, Dr. A.
Yeah, she says, oh my God, Siri and so many other apps are always telling me they can't understand my accent because she's from the South. But WhisperFlow just got 2 whole sentences entirely correct. I'm in, thanks, Madalyn.
Oh,
Great.
Dr. A, I've missed you.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, she used to always come on our X Spaces chat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, like, y'all know I don't sit here and like, let me talk about this tool because I'm an affiliate. I don't operate like that. I share stuff that I use that I find incredibly valuable, that I think others will find valuable. And oh yeah, I happen to be an affiliate. Why not? I mean, we're marketers. That's what we do. So,
Okay, one more thing.
Absolutely.
So if we're dictating this, it's saving it in a separate document, right?
Wait, what now?
When you're using WhisperFlow, it's saving it in what kind of document, or how do I get those words to work with?
Well, you're using it in whatever tool you're in.
Oh, it
So
rides
like
on top of it.
in my video, I showed the example of how when I stopped in my video and say, oh, let me just show you. I went over to Twitter and I was just showing, I was just filming me on Twitter. I pressed the button, I talked, I let go, and then it popped it up in my tweet. And it doesn't matter what you're in. You put, but here's the key. You put the cursor. If you're on your computer, you got to make sure your cursor is on. Like if I'm doing the tweet, put your cursor in the tweet and then press a button and talk. But here's the thing. They do have a workaround. So WhisperFlow is running, and it does collect everything you say, and you can go see it inside of WhisperFlow. But sometimes, especially when you're new to this, you might forget to make sure you put your cursor in the right place, so it pops it right in there. It will always be inside of WhisperFlow. So on my computer, I just have it on my Mac here. Let me turn it on, and so I wonder if I can. I don't know if I can show this because it's not.
Let's do that in school in your after hours.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do that tomorrow. But it has everything in there. So if I accidentally did not put my, I press the button, I talk, and I've done this plenty of times, and I'm like, but it doesn't pop in. You're like, oh shoot, my cursor wasn't right in there. My cursor was elsewhere, which is fine. I just go tap on WhisperFlow and it's there, and I just tap the copy button and then just go paste it in. So it's got it all, and it's constantly letting you know what's your words per minute based on your usage. And so when I did that video, it was a bit higher. Like today, it says I'm at 157 words per minute, but I was like, I think it was 163 or whatever it was with that video, and 247,000 words as of today. I mean, I just can't tell y'all enough like how much this makes me so much more productive, and I use it for everything I do, work stuff, non-work stuff, everything. If I'm sitting here texting a friend, I'm on my phone, I press the button, and so I can just talk. It's so easy.
Is it like does transcription work? Barbara was talking about it, or not really?
Transcription?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You said it's within the app. Like I have otter.ai. So when I go into meetings, it transcribes all my meetings and stuff. That's not what this is.
This is voice to text. It does have everything as a transcript. Whatever you're doing your voice to text, when you press the button and do this, the transcript is in WhisperFlow that you can go access, but it's not to go record. I mean, you probably technically could, but then you're going to, use up all those words, and that's not what this is for. That's what Otter is for. This is really your voice into any app or tool.
Gotcha.
That's what it's geared for.
Thanks for talking about the 6 months. Because that was my question right off the bat but it's for Android users. They get it basically free for 6 months. It sounds like
that's their special they're doing, because he had mentioned in the commercial, he specifically said 6 months, and it was a commercial to launch that it's on Android now. But yeah, it's the words max if you're on desktop or iOS on the free account. If you're Android, for a limited time, they're doing unlimited words.
So if I sign up on the desktop, but I'm using my Android phone, I obviously would download the app, but will I get the unlimited if I sign up on my desktop?
It doesn't matter where you sign up, doesn't matter which. I'm constantly.
Okay.
Barb, I've been using this for over 8 months. I use this all day, every day.
But you only buy it once.
Doesn't matter. Yes, you're not paying for both desktop and phone. It's all connected, and so I can sit here on my phone and be doing this, and then switch over to my computer to pick up where I left off. If I was like let's say I'm working on a document. Let's say I'm working on a book, and I'm in a Word doc, and I'm doing it on my phone. Yeah. I'm just talking, and then okay, now I'm at my desk, so I want to go. I just open the same doc on my computer, and then I'm like, let me press the button on my computer to do WhisperFlow. Yeah, it all is intertwined together.
Great.
It's pretty cool.
I'm excited.
I think you're all going to like it. I mean, I know I talk about it all the time, but I'm telling you, you're going to see what the fuss is all about when you try this. Okay. Now, I don't think any of y'all were here for last Friday. I know Jim was there. I can't remember who else was there. Barb, there. You were there. Barb was there, of course. Sorry. Hey, this is what happens as we age, y'all. That's why I need a recording of everything, so I can have AI give me, the summary and the talking points, because it's so easy to forget things, especially at our age. Okay. So Barb's already seen this, but I came across a very interesting movie trailer for a documentary about AI. Do you remember this, Barb? Because this was like, oh my gosh. I need to play this for everyone because it's pretty wild. This film that's going to be coming out is a documentary about AI. So let me play this for y'all real quick.
If this technology goes wrong, it can go quite wrong.
Your fear of AI is the collapse of humanity.
Well, not the collapse, the abrupt extermination. There's a difference.
So I started making this movie because my wife is 6 months pregnant. Is now a terrible time to have a kid.
I mean, let's just be honest. I know people who work on AI risk who don't expect their children to make it to high school.
How does AI understand pretty much everything?
It's surprisingly straightforward.
Intelligence is about recognizing patterns.
Patterns.
If you have learned those patterns, you can generate new information. AI is moving so fast.
It's being deployed prematurely. There's so much potential for things to go wrong.
Why can't we just stop?
All these companies are in a race
To get AI that's vastly more intelligent than people within this decade.
China, North Korea, Russia.
Whoever wins is essentially the controller of humankind.
We need to take a threat from AI as seriously as global nuclear war.
It feels like I have to find these CEOs and get them in the movie.
Great.
I want to ask you to promise me that this is going to go well.
That is impossible.
Okay.
Am I hopeful? Yes. Am I confident that it'll go right? Absolutely not.
AI is the thing that can solve climate change.
We could cure most diseases.
What if it's expanding what is humanly possible?
This is the most extraordinary time ever. The only time more exciting than today is tomorrow.
I already love you.
Okay.
I think if this technology goes wrong, it can go quite wrong.
By using AI, we're about to move off of the Earth into the cosmos.
If we can be the most mature version of ourselves, there might be a way through this.
This is the last mistake we'll ever get to make.
Doesn't it look good? Oh my God. It's scary. And they're showing like the negative side of AI that's, I try not to look at because I just like all the positive stuff and that's what I focus on. But we need to see all that and we need to know.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it before just from the writer perspective. Our books are completely being stripped and used to train language learning models, LLMs, even if we never gave permission. The Anthropic lawsuit is one example of that. I think those lawsuits will continue because this is such a new thing. What's a little scary though, I was watching some dumb reality show with my daughter, and one of the guys was talking about how he doesn't go to regular therapy anymore. He just talks to chat, and chat is helping him deal with his issues. And chat can't diagnose you. They literally have built that into it. But it's a little scary to think that somebody who went to school for probably 12 to 15 years to become a therapist, a psychiatrist, whatever, is being replaced by chat. It's like, I think we do need to look at it in a balanced way because it's a super nuanced conversation. There's so many aspects, positives, and of course, negatives. But these people are all inside. I thought it was really interesting though. Didn't see a single woman in that whole documentary.
The Anthropic one.
The whole doc, all the people that they interviewed and the talking heads.
There was a woman that from Anthropic. It said like I think president.
Oh, I think you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see how it's so very white male dominated.
Absolutely it is.
Yeah.
But like we know how Sam Altman has said that, like, that you got to be careful with this.
It's like Terminator. That's what I was literally thinking as they were talking about it. It's like, okay, Skynet's going to go live. It's just a matter of when.
It's scary. It's scary. Who else has a thought about this?
Well, I think the thing I've been talking about, there's this guy named Stefan Youngblood that he has an AI clubhouse room, and we go in there sometimes, late at night, and we just talk the ethics of it. I mean, there's some interesting things, and then what just happened with I don't know if you guys talked about Claudebot or Moltbot,
Yeah.
and now ChatGPT or OpenAI bought them, or
Right.
it's
Right.
reported that they've been bought. I don't know. He's now seems to be with Open ChatGPT and still open source, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of I think it's going to be a cottage industry. There's going to be positions out there about the ethics of AI, and there's going to be specific around this technology. And I just think there's going to be some deep thinkers out there because there's some future issues, not only in the future but today too. So I mean, it's how do we deal with the privacy part of it? And you really have to keep in touch with the terms and conditions, and all these AI tools have different ones, and some are a little bit sneakier than others about how they go about it, and some let you have more control over that. So yeah, there's some real issues. So where there's light there's darkness, so you just have to know that's how it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. Barb, what's your thought?
What I'm going to do, because I've seen another video on YouTube today that was just mind blowing, and I want them to come to your school community. And I'm going to share that in there because it deals with the authenticity and so forth that we're seeing. And also today, Meta announced their latest in going after these misuses of AI on their platform. And they filed lawsuits. So it's a big output today. It's I think Bez is in my group. I put that on in my school community. It is scary. It's very frightening, but the authenticity, that word just got so overused in the last 3 years. And then we have AI, and we're sitting there watching ourselves as an avatar, and it looks just like us, and it's talking to us, and we've trained it to do that, but we're blown away by how accurate it is. I mean, it makes you shake. So it's like, well, after I'm gone, you're not going to get away with everything because my avatar is going to be here to remind you.
Right.
My account will live on.
And I'll just share something that is very disturbing. When you have a federal agency alter a picture of somebody and change it to where if you didn't know, it was hard to catch of a reaction, just of or and that has implications because usually you want to trust. I mean, you would like to trust sources from federal agencies, right?
Right.
But now we're seeing them thinking, "Oh, this is funny. Let me change this so it makes this person look a little bit, I want a different reaction." And I'm not trying to get political here, but see just the nuance of that. That's we have a lot of responsibility as we play with this technology. And when you have power, there's great responsibility with that power. And as nuanced as that was in jest or to make fun, it had a ripple effect, and it was alarming to a lot of people. So you have to be responsible in how you use these tools. And I'm just going to leave it there because this is a deep conversation.
Yeah, yeah. We don't have time to go too deep, but for anybody that comes tomorrow over to school, we can, if anybody wants to, we can definitely go deeper into the conversation. I still have a few more things to show y'all, but the documentary looks eye-opening. I will definitely watch it when it comes out. It's coming out next month. It looks like it's going to be like a theatrical release. So I'll keep an eye out and let y'all know because I'm not going to see it in the theater, but when it comes out online, I'll definitely watch it. Here's Barb's tweet talking about Blab. Look, 10 years ago, and my hair short briefly, and I did not like it back then. So this was when I was on Mike Stelzner, his popular show. GIF image that shows you the steps, and it just walks you through it, and it shows you how simple it is. You just have to always use that same URL every single time. So yeah, you would just give it to all your staff. And I think that this can be used for everybody. Myself as a solopreneur, if I'm having a customer service issue with a client, or somebody comes to me and say, hey, Madalyn, I'd like to learn more about this, and I want to move it to direct message, I could just put that link in and let them just like a little gift. So yeah, that was me briefly explaining on Mike's show. There was this little hack 10 years ago on Twitter where the way you could do a tweet, and big brands started learning how to do this for customer service, where you can have this link, and when the person clicks on it, it automatically opens up a DM chat with you and them inside of Twitter. It was so cool. So that was what I was briefly talking about there. But that was Blab. Thank you for sharing that, Barb. The good old days of Blab. I'm going to wrap up our hour with some really fun prompts I came across on Gemini's X account that are really cute that I was playing around with. Y'all going to like this. It's so adorable. This had come out yesterday on their X. So this is the Nano Banana 2 X account. Prompt: make a photo of a half-peeled banana plushie. The plushie is also a sauropod. I mean, look at how cute that is. When I saw that, I'm like, I'm going to go make one. But here's what I did. I only have the free account of Gemini for the Nano Banana, but I have Magi, the all-in-one AI tool that I love so much. You can actually see, here's my tweet right here. So I did mine inside of Magi. So what I did is I replied to Nano Banana's X last night. And I went into Magi, put the same prompt in, and there's my version. And I said, here's mine. It was created in Magi using Nano Banana Pro. And I want to point out something interesting when I was looking at this tweet. So y'all know that X has terrible engagement now. I mean, I've been using X since 2008. I have, I think, 112,000 followers there. It's not what it once was. I'm lucky if I get a handful of views and likes and stuff. But that's okay. We're in a different time now. But I noticed something really interesting. And this is just a good thing to be aware of with X, like what works and what doesn't, even though a lot of us don't use it the way we used to. So this is a popular X account, Nano Banana, and is very active, and people are very interested in AI. So it has a lot of activities. So this came out yesterday. They've got 74,000 views on this one tweet. So I come in last night and I'm like, I'm going to jump on this bandwagon. And it was nothing more than I wanted to do the prompt and let me go do it in Magi to see, like, how did mine come out compared to theirs? And I checked this morning and I'm like, oh my gosh, look at this. It has 839 views. I don't remember the last time one of my tweets had 839 views. So it's a reminder that what still works is replying to tweets of a popular account that's very active, that draws a lot of attention. And so, because also what I did is I did a quote tweet as well, because I wanted to share it to my community. So this is my quote tweet I did of it. And I just, quote tweeted their original, and I put so cute. I just wanted to quote tweet theirs so people on my feed would see this. I got 155 views. So you still want to put, like, if you're still using X, I know not everybody really does that as much, but if you do, still put stuff in your feed. Because when I did reply on Nano Banana, not everybody's going to see that, but it drew attention to the people on that account. And then I made mine a thread, and I made the second tweet a shout out to Magi. I just put the link to Magi. Why not? So I just thought that was interesting and worth showing you all that.
There's still strategies. Where's the prompt for that?
So the prompt is on their tweet, and I will have links to everything on my YouTube. I know people are watching we got people on Facebook, multiple Facebooks, LinkedIn, YouTubes, your Twitch, Bez, thank you, X, we're everywhere. What y'all want to do is later go to my Madalyn Sklar YouTube. Just you can see my username right there. I'm at Madalyn Sklar everywhere in the world because luckily there's only one person with my name spelled just like that. So if you go there in the YouTube description for today's video, I will put the links to everything. So the prompt is so simple. This is the prompt. Make a photo of a half-peeled banana plushie. The plushie is also a sauropod. That's it. That's now you can do more. That's just they're showing that when you put that into Nano Banana 2, they're just showing like the result. And let me show you something else. So people jumped in and put all kinds of this one really caught my eye. So they put a prompt, make a photo of a half-peeled pomegranate plushie. The plushie is also a dragon. That is awesome. That is so cool. And then look, they got it. They did another one. This is a prompt of a photo of a half-peeled strawberry plushie. The plushie is also a cat.
Oh, that's so cute.
And what I find is that, like, on the Nano Banana X, they're really good at doing these examples with images where they'll just put a simple prompt and show a photo. And I love that because it's like, this is a great way, like a great exercise in, oh, that's a cool prompt. And then let me put that into mine and play off of that. And you could do this in any of the LLMs. I could do it in ChatGPT. I could do it on the free Gemini. If you got the paid, you got the Nano Banana 2, or like me, you got Magi. So you can use these prompts on any tool. They're just, of course, showing this because it's a promotion for Nano Banana 2.
Well, I tried that prompt that they had on ChatGPT, the caricature, and I tried it in Claude. It did not work.
Claude is not. I don't think they're really good for image generation, though, are they?
I don't know. I said, okay, let's see what because it came out really good in ChatGPT, but I didn't know.
Yeah.
Not for this, but it was when they were doing the caricature ones, and I tried to use the ChatGPT prompt in Claude, and it didn't work at all. It was horrible.
Yeah. And this is one they showed the day before, a couple of days ago. So this prompt says, imagine this image was turned into a simple cookie cutter. Without showing the cookie cutter, show a photo of the homemade cookies it would make. They're on a plate, no frosting. So it's basically taken this and it turned it into that. That's really cool. So
I'm hungry.
But I always encourage y'all, when y'all see these kinds of tweets, go into the comments, because then you see people like, okay, here's my version of this. It's really fun to see because there's like a whole bunch of these.
Oh, I like that one, the lion.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Or that's a hedgehog. I don't know.
Hedgehog, yes. So that's why this all worked out perfect. It's the top of the hour. Those are the things I wanted to show you all today. William's asking any insights on video editing and creation. I mean, don't really have time, but like, do you have like what specifically are you thinking? Yeah, you're over on X. We're live streaming all over, like X, Facebook, YouTube. Yeah. Oh, cool. Your first time listening to a live stream. Cool. We do this every Thursday for an hour-ish. Y'all know me. I usually go over because I can't help it. It's always fun. But
I would, if I could just add to William, your school community has all of this information in there. So if you go to school, skool.com, or sorry, bit.ly, Madalyn School, there it is. It's all free too. It's great. I mean, it's such a wonderful resource to go in there and see. Like, I know that you or Barb, because you're both most active, have vetted this information. So I feel comfortable going in there going, okay, this is legit. So I think that's really helpful.
Yeah. William, come over and join us free over at school and then ask your question in there. It'd be great if you had a little bit more detail. I mean, any insights on video editing and creation is not a whole lot of info. As far as like a video editing tool, I like this AI. An AI tool is Opus Clips. Oh my God, Opus Clip is so awesome. I think I have that link in here too. Opus Clip is what's really neat about that one. You can try it free. Is Opus Clips you take a long form video. Like I could take this. I don't like it so much when there's 4 of us on screen like this, because it doesn't, you know how you go into YouTube Shorts or Instagram or Facebook Reels or TikTok, and it's the vertical video. Vertical video, usually when you have 4 people on screen like this, it doesn't translate to that very well. I mean, you can certainly play with it, but I like it typically for a 1-person video or 2-person video, like an interview. And what you do is you take that video, you can either take the link to it, like I could take the YouTube link, pop it into Opus Clips, or upload the video. But you can do this with other people's videos. So you can just go grab their YouTube. And then it incorporates AI, and it'll give you like 20 to 30 made up, ready to go vertical video clips. I mean, you can't set it to do vertical or horizontal. I typically use it for vertical. And it does the heavy lifting for you, but you can go into each one and edit to get it exactly the way you want. So that's a tool I've been using for a long time. And you can try it for free. What I did the free version, and over time I used up all that they let you do for free. And I'm like, this is so worth it. I get so much value. So now I pay for it. So, but thank you for joining us, William. We're wrapping up now, but yeah, come join us again next week. So any final thoughts from our panelists?
I'll just say that I do appreciate it. I think what you're doing here, Madalyn, because this information is changing so fast on used to say on a quarterly basis. Like I can't even say weekly anymore. It's like almost daily.
It's daily. It's pretty much daily now. It's crazy.
It's crazy, and everyone's trying to outdo each other, and there's a lot of awesomeness coming out of this, but there's also a lot of things you better keep an eye out for. And it was really prevalent when that Molt bot that became Claude bot, then Claude bot, and there's people reporting their bank accounts were being drained.
There's a lot of issues with. I would definitely. So I'm so glad you brought that up. I mean, I know it got brought up earlier. We didn't really deep dive into it. Over on School, I have an article in there. So my friend Mitch Jackson wrote this. He's an attorney in California. He specializes in tech, and he wrote this incredible article last week. So I've got it posted in there, and I recommend anybody that is thinking about using Claudebot, you better read this first, because the legal issues around that, but not just that, all AI. I mean, there's like, if you're using AI agents, you have to be really, there's a lot of legal stuff. When I read that article of his, I was like, whoa, that's like every business needs to read that, because there's a lot of legal implications that people are not thinking of. And the Claudebot thing, I think the reason why that's come to attention is because there's a lot of issues with it.
And here's the thing about it. Your liability insurance or your business insurance may not cover it. And this stuff is moving so quick, because I remember back in the day when photographers would take these nice pictures, and then people would put them as their banner pictures on their paid Facebook groups, the ones they were charging. And then they got mad, and then they would team up with a lawyer and registered their copyrights. And then they would wait till you post it, and then like, gotcha. And sometimes business insurance would cover it. Sometimes it wouldn't. But it can be devastating if now an agent is acting on your behalf, and now you're liable for that stuff. It can be dangerous.
Well, exactly. And that's what he talks about, in that article of his. And it's just something that people need to be aware of before they go running to do that, for sure. So.
Great article. I saw that too.
Yeah, it was really good. So thank you for joining us. If you're watching over on YouTube, hit that like and subscribe. If you're elsewhere, hit the like. Appreciate it. We do this every week. Come join us Thursday afternoons. What's so interesting is that this Thursday 1 hour chat started in 2015. I've been doing this Thursday, 1 o'clock Eastern, every week since 2015. Started off as my Twitter Smarter Twitter chat. back in the day. And that evolved, practically a decade, I think about 9 years of that, and then turned into this, and we do it as a live stream instead. And it's so much fun. It's still fun getting together, and we're just talking about, because back in the day it was all about Twitter and Twitter marketing, and I was known as a big Twitter marketing go-to person. And even when the shiny objects and everybody stopped being the Twitter experts and they didn't want, I'm gonna go teach people how to use Instagram and then TikTok and all this stuff, is like I was like the one going, come back over here. This is still a good platform, but things change. It's not the same, and that's okay. I think that's why so many of us are just so interested in AI, because it's so interesting. It's like technology, but now we're just in a whole new world.
I want to give you kudos for your Twitter chat. I got invited to do a Twitter chat with the AMA of Boston. It's like the American or Marketing Association. Yeah. And
he used to come on the show. I remember that. Yeah. Was it Brian?
Yeah.
I remember. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
He was
And
active
so,
in the chat a long time ago. Yeah.
And so he asked me to go. So I was like, how do I do this? So I took your free Twitter chat course.
Yeah.
And that prepped me to do that. And I was able to set it up and manage it correctly. I mean, I made a few mistakes, because if you don't put the hashtag, oh my goodness,
it was all about the hashtag. You always knew when somebody was new, because that's what would always happen. We're starting the chat, everybody's there, and then you see like some new people. You gotta have the hashtag. And this happened so many times. I'd be rich if I could count how many times this would happen. We're at the top of the hour, we're wrapping up. All of a sudden, we hadn't seen the person since the top of the hour when they did that first tweet. They come back and they're like, they got the hashtag. OMG. I just realized this whole time I didn't put the hashtag in my tweets. And we're like, yeah, all we're doing, I want to tell people, all we're doing is for 1 hour, we're hyper-focusing on the hashtag. If the hashtag is not in the tweet, we're not going to see it. We're just looking at the pound Twitter smarter. But what was so crazy, Bez? That Twitter chat got so popular, even I couldn't keep up with it. I mean, that was like how many tweets would go by on the screen every second. It was wild. I had no idea it would grow and get so big. But it was cool.
I
met a lot of amazing people.
I set it up. I think they had like a studio back then. And now I think it's under a paywall under X. But remember, it was like was that a bolt-on software or something? You could keep track of like different channels. What was that called back then?
Oh, that was, you're talking about TweetDeck.
Yes, TweetDeck. That was integrated. I guess that they bought.
It was a separate, and we all are like, why did they buy this? There were so many apps and tools they should have bought that they didn't, or they really delayed doing it, that would have been better incorporated. But yeah, they finally bought it years back and incorporated it in, so it was part of being on Twitter. Yeah, that was a great tool. Yeah,
I managed it that way, and on one screen, and I just put the different columns.
Yeah,
and that's how I was able to keep up. I don't know how I would have done it without that.
That was how I did it. But the Twitter Smarter was still moving at lightning speed, even with TweetDeck and having all those multiple columns. I'd be like, I'm trying, and I feel bad. Like, I hope I don't miss anything important from somebody, or somebody feeling like I'm ignoring them. And that was why I had all those greeters, like, all like Jim and some of the others that were in the group that were always there every week. And because I always wanted to say hi to every single person when they came into the chat. And as it grew, it's like, I can't greet everyone anymore, because we would spend like the first 10 minutes of all this, like, hey, and remember that we're all like, hey, and everybody became really good friends. And so I would ask, some of the super chatters that were always there, like, hey, do you want to volunteer as a greeter? So help me greet people at the beginning, and built up like there was like a whole group of them. And it helped me tremendously, because I always felt like everybody should be greeted when they pop in.
Yeah, you make it like more like Cheers, a very inclusive space. Everybody knows your name. Just
it was fun. It was a fun chat, and it wasn't my first chat. My very first Twitter chat I started in 2011, when I had my music community. I had for 20 years as my side. I always have a side. Don't ask me. I have no idea why. I always have a side thing. I have my my side passion project is my Kratom podcast and live stream. But back then it was my music community, Go Girls Music, and it was all about promoting, supporting, and empowering independent female musicians that I started in 1996. And I did my first Twitter chat was for that group. And it was back when Twitter chats were newer. There weren't a lot of people doing it back then. So 2011. And it got so big that I did it at night. And people in Europe were like, it's like 3 a.m. Can you do this earlier in the day? And we just started getting all these people in Europe. And it's like, we had something that was working so well. I didn't want to change the time, but I said, I'll tell you what, I'll just add another time. So I did it twice. It was crazy. When I started Twitter, when I started Twitter Smarter in 2015, at that point, I was doing my Go Girls chat twice I did an afternoon and an evening one. And then when I started Twitter Smarter, I'm like, well, I'm already doing these 2 Twitter chats on Thursday. Let me just have Twitter Smarter be at 1:00 Eastern every Thursday. So literally I did 3 Twitter chats every Thursday. It was wild. It was fun. It was so different looking back.
Are there
It just
people
shows
still
how
doing
much of a
Twitter?
nerd I am.
No, that it was awesome. Are there still people doing Twitter chats or no?
No, it's not a thing. I mean, you can still use a hashtag, but just know that Elon doesn't like hashtags. He's not a fan of them. And the algorithm is set so if you use, and it's just good for everybody to know that still uses Twitter. If you use more than one hashtag, your tweet's going to get downranked, meaning they don't want people to see it. So you'll get very little engagement off of it. So if you I had to just get out of the habit of using hashtags. And I was good about just using one, but it just wasn't effective anymore. Hashtags were back when on Twitter in the olden days, the only way to do a search was with a hashtag. You had to have the pound sign to do a search. And that's how all that came about. Eventually, years later, they made it so you could do it with just a regular search without it. But we were also ingrained with using it. And people like me that would brand hashtags. I mean, I just always would come up with branded hashtags. And then times changed, but people still use them, and it's still a great way to go find something by putting, if you put in the old Twitter Smart, put in pound Twitter. I haven't done this in a while. If I put in pound Twitter Smarter, should still show some old tweets from. I mean, it was a very popular hashtag too.
Yeah, it was interesting. After the AMA Boston Twitter chat, we went into a Twitter space, and so it's like almost making the Twitter chat obsolete, sort of right? Because if you can go into a Twitter space instead of doing a chat, that's so much easier, right? But I sort of saw the less and less people use Twitter chats, and Twitter spaces started to pop up more. Yeah.
Yeah, here's a tweet from 2024. So apparently I made it to 8 years of just Twitter Smarter. I know right after that, I still continued on, but we changed everything. So yeah, Twitter Smarter, Twitter chat to connect, learn, and share tips every week. That was so much fun. And what always surprised me is that no one else hosted a Twitter chat. Nobody else did a Twitter. I was the only person that did Twitter stuff. I had a Twitter Smarter Masterclass. I had a Twitter. I mean, I really branded the Twitter Smarter hashtag. Twitter Smarter Masterclass, Twitter Smarter podcast, Twitter Smarter Twitter chat. No one else did a podcast or Twitter chat just about Twitter. I always Twitter was still very popular. I never understood that.
I tell you what, as much as I don't like it, for many, many reasons, it is still, if you want to get news fast or receive the latest and breaking news, there is nothing else than Twitter. And that's primarily why, when I saw the value in how much information companies dump on Twitter, and sometimes it was just amazing. And that's outside of the news cycle. But during the initial part of the Ukrainian invasion, the news cycle was 24 to 48 hours behind. and all
Right,
the
and
latest stuff.
I remember, yeah, you could just go on Twitter and you saw, oh yeah, and it's always been good for that. It still is to get really. I think these days though, and I don't want to get into a whole big thing on this now because I need to get running. But these days, there's so much misinformation
Yeah.
online everywhere, and of course it's not good on X. It's pretty bad over there. So you don't always know if stuff's accurate, but it is still a good place for news that can be up to the minute. It is
Yeah.
great for that. And with the algorithm, Facebook used to be better. It's not like, I mean, Facebook algorithm, oh, don't get me going on that. TikTok's algorithm is pretty good, but it's so random if it shows you something from a month ago versus something that just happened today, which gets frustrating because their
Well,
algorithm is so good at knowing what you like to watch. But I wish there
yeah.
was a way to get, well, what's the, like, if they could, in the algorithm, if you could choose, because I know on Twitter, on X, you could, I don't know if it still does this. I mean, I don't use it all the time like I used to, but
But
you
how has
could.
the algorithm on TikTok changed with now that it's US owned?
It was terrible for a couple of days, and then it kind of resolved itself. It's back somewhat back to normal. It's not it's very close to what it was, but it was awful for like days or a week or whatever. It was pretty bad.
Okay.
But my only problem now with TikTok is that it'll just randomly show you stuff that's really old. Like I was in the feed the other day and it was showing me something from December. And it never did stuff like that. It was always stuff that was very current. So I just wish there was a way with TikTok where I can specify between just the random for you of everything today, yesterday, last month, versus I want just, right now. Like Twitter, I mean, that's how Twitter started. It was the reverse chronological order. It's like this moment, and then you go down. Well, this was a minute ago. This was 5 minutes. Like, I wish there was a way to do it TikTok because their algorithm knows what you like to watch.
Well, what you just described is what LinkedIn is doing with their new 360 brew, where you're seeing stuff weeks later, and so your content can have legs and see it later. So, but on LinkedIn, people like that. I don't think on Twitter, on TikTok, people like that.
Yeah.
They want to see the latest. Yeah. So.
Right. That's such a great conversation. Bess, thank you. I know everybody else had to go. I need to get running. And thank you all. I mean, we've got a bunch of people here live. We appreciate y'all hanging out live. I mean, I can't believe how many places we're at. We're on we're on 4 Facebooks. I'm the only one on LinkedIn. Y'all didn't do, Bess, you didn't do LinkedIn?
No, because
you did Twitch. You did Twitch and stuff.
StreamYard I would have to kick you
Yes,
out
you do
to
too.
put my
That's right.
LinkedIn.
Oh,
So
yeah.
what I did, I shared yours to my LinkedIn.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you. And we're on three YouTubes. We're on your Twitch and 3 X's. So we are all over the place.
My YouTube channel will turn 20 years old in October, and I have only 13 subscribers.
Oh.
So I've got to at least get to an average of 1 subscriber a year.
20 years. Holy cow.
I just turned it on, I guess when I got my Google account, or I think I had an Android and or something. But yeah, YouTube's been I think probably longer than 20 years, but yeah.
I don't know which LinkedIn user is here. Hi. It just says LinkedIn. It's the privacy thing they do. Yeah, it shows you're on LinkedIn, but tell us, put your name in there because it just says LinkedIn user. It's just like, Facebook that used to do that with groups. But I do need to get running. This is an awesome chat. We do this every week, y'all. Come back next Thursday. We'll hang out again. The replay will be available. So if you got here late, we've been here for an hour and 15 minutes. So if, wherever you're watching, you can catch the replay as soon as I end this. Or you can always go to my YouTube channel at Madalyn Sklar. And I have them all. They're all there. They're all archived. Mm-hmm. So come over there and see you soon. Thank you, Bez. Always great seeing you.
Good seeing you. Have a good day. All right.